Alright, well, welcome back, and hopefully this video audio quality is better than the last one. In the last one I was kind of rushed just because I hadn't put out a video in ages and kind of lost my bearings on putting things together. So kind of a recap here. What we did last time is we did our forward fill on the date field. We have our economic data. We have our S&P 500. This is the open, high, low, close, adjusted volume, etc. And then we created a bunch of these technical indicators. And so in this video, I want to do something really simplistic in which it's just to develop kind of a pseudo strategy, something that can kind of guide the trades going forward. And it's definitely not the end all for this video. My primary goal is forecasting, so we'll be running into models. But at least for this video, it's kind of a nice little in-between when we start building the deep learning sets to this. So this should be pretty simple and pretty straightforward. So I'm just going to create a new file and we'll just call this, I guess we could just call this our strategy.py. And what we're going to do is grab in, we're going to be able to recycle some of this. So let's go ahead and grab this. And then we should be able to grab a bit from the bottom that just put everything into the SQL database. And then we'll just rename it. Alright, and this is going to be our start. So we have our connection string. So the next thing we want to look at is, let's go ahead and grab this data set. So this is what we made last time, the daily economic S&P data with our technical indicators. So in here, what we're going to do is go ahead and write, let's go data equals, and we'll just read in the SQL file. Alright, now we'll just read our data really quick and let's comment this out since we'll refactor that in a second. Let's see what this is going to look like. Alright, we look pretty good here. Go ahead and... Alright, there's all our stuff, so we can go ahead and drop this. And so now let's just create a function and we're just going to call this something simple like trading strategy, or yeah, whatever you want to name it, it's fine. And I did think if we want to put some like debugging in here, I'm not sure if we're truly going to need to, so I think what we could do is probably just write everything. If we run into any errors, then we'll put some debugging in it. So let's create some columns for each one of our strategies. So let's do first, we have an RSI signal. Try to make that lowercase, and then we'll just put a placeholder as neutral, because these are going to be things that don't fit within the buy or sell parameters. And we'll make that for each one of these. So here all I did was we added in, I think we're going to do around, let's just do 5 or 6 at the moment, and then we'll go back and test if we want to do more. So we'll do the RSI, the stochastic, MACD, Bollinger Bands, and then the OBV. So we have these. Let's go ahead and check for some, let's check our data types. So if anything isn't in numerical format, it's coming in as an object or whatever, string, then we can convert them. So we're just going to go ahead and go and then just make sure everything is in a float format. And date, okay, so this one looks good. So we can just delete this now. And we don't have to do any data converting in this. Thank God, because that was going to be rough. Okay. So now let's just do a for loop, and it's just going to be all the conditions for this, for our strategy. So this was kind of short and sweet. We've got our kind of, I guess you could say, a strategy built in. So let's go ahead and run this and take a look at what we see. I can already see right here the data is coming in. So let's go back to the SQL database and refresh this. And there's our strategy. So let's pull this up, select top 1000. And here's kind of a simplistic little strategy set in place. So just taking a look at this, what we have, RSI, per criteria, it's typically the 80-20 or 70-30. So when RSI hits one of those peak, trough, or let's say lows or high values, then we should get a sell signal. Stochastic is also similar parameters, a little faster acting, so we should see a sell signal. And then you could further this if you wanted to say something to the effect of, well, I'm just going to use this use case right here. If this is a sell, this is a sell, but we're still in a bullish trend, it might not be best to take a sell position. Now you can quickly scroll over and validate if we're in this range here. And let's see, we had sell, sell. So we can take a look and see what the price did after. This says bullish. I'm guessing by the time it gets up to bearish, that's when it would drop. But let's take a look at the adjusted close. 332. And it did drop and then went back up. So this is just a way to formulate a strategy. So next you would refine somewhat of our criteria to say, if this is sell, this is sell, and this is sell, then you're probably in a good short position, or using the Bollinger Bands or the MACD as well. So this would be a really simplistic way to build in a few factors into identification of a way you could plot this. You could do just kind of binary instead of buy, sell, neutral, just on buy and sell, and then create a criteria. Sell, 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 and then if you get 3 or 4 of them, then you would sell that day. And then buyback would be when they flip or turn to buy positions. So this is it's just the start of a strategy, and yeah, I'll go ahead and move on to the remodeling after this.